Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome to Aging with Power, sponsored by Comfort Keepers and Home Care. I am your host, Miles McNamara, and our show focuses on the challenges and the topics that we face on this journey that we call aging. After all, we do start aging after we take our first breath. And although our show will primarily focus on adult and senior issues, we will from time to time visit areas of the entire aging spectrum, from the womb to the tomb. Our subject matter experts will address the questions and concerns to empower us to make informed decisions. And if you ever have a specific question, we welcome your live input. And you can give us a call here at 661-298-5487, 661-298 KHTS. Forward your question on to Kyle, our sound engineer, or you can go live with us on the air. It's your choice. We're also Facebook Live. So if you want to see who the talking heads are today, you can go search for KHTS Radio on Facebook and actually shoot us a question via that medium as well. We'd be happy to address it because, after all, preparation is knowledge and knowledge is power. And we have a great show in store for you today, folks. We have lots of information coming your way. First half of the show, we have in studio with us UCLA Health, a huge presence here in Santa Clarita where we can obtain some of our, or if not all of our medical needs without having to leave the lovely, awesome town, Santa Clarita. So in studio with me, I have Nikki Bonner. She's the Marketing and Community Outreach Manager with UCLA Health here in Santa Clarita. And also in studio, we have Dr. Nishant Patel, a urologist who practices right here in Santa Clarita as well. I appreciate y'all taking time out of your busy schedule. So Dr. Patel and Nikki, welcome to Aging with Power.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Miles. Thanks for having us.
You bet. And then in the second half of the show, the man himself, the executive director of our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, Kevin McDonald, will be in studio, and we're going to talk about a plethora. I always try to use that word at least once during the show. A plethora of things, including the ongoing capital campaign for our brand new senior center over on Golden Valley Road. And he'll be talking about some other programs at our center. But it's happening, folks. After all these years, we have a new senior center coming to Santa Clarita. Awesome, awesome. So Kevin McDonald, second half of the show. And before we take our first break, just want to give a couple announcements coming up. If you don't already have them on your calendar, this coming Saturday, August 6th, is our annual Walk to Cure Alzheimer's at Bridgeport Park, 23670 Newhall Ranch Road. So if you'd like to be a Comfort Keeper walker or start your own team, reach out to me. I will hook you up with Lori Blumenthal of the Alzheimer's Association. But again, that's this Saturday, 9 a.m. at Bridgeport Park. Registration starts at 7:30 a.m. So give me a call. We'd love to have you as a Comfort Keeper walker, or you can start your own team. And also something very important, we are coming up on open enrollment for our insurance, and it's important for our seniors to know what their options are. And our aforementioned senior center is having Paul Davis from Paul Davis Insurance Services give a presentation on just that at our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, still over here on Market Street, on Wednesday, October 31st from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So put that on your to-date or to-do calendar. Spread the word, folks. If you have seniors in your life who are on Medicare or Medicare Advantage plans or, things that affect their health care, a lot of changes coming up next year with our Medicare Advantage plans and our straight-up Medicare. So give the Senior Center a call at 661-259-9444, or again, reach out to me and I can hook you up. But Paul Davis Insurance Services on Wednesday, October 31st at 1 p.m. at our Senior Center to discuss open enrollment and the options we have. So we are going to take our first break, and when we come back, as I said, UCLA Health is in the house. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Do you think taxpayers should pay for politicians' political campaigns? Assembly candidate Christy Smith does. Christy Smith supports raising our taxes. But guess where the money would go? Christy Smith wants to spend as much as $600 million in taxpayer money paying for the annoying mail and TV that politicians bombard us with. Let that sink in. Assembly candidate Christy Smith wants you to pay for political campaigns, even for those politicians you disagree with. Let that sink in. Christy Smith would spend $600 million for politicians instead of better roads or better schools for our kids. Christy Smith is just wrong.
Women deserve equal pay for equal work. It's just that simple. That's what's good about Assemblyman Dante Acosta. Dante Acosta voted to require equal pay for equal work. And Dante Acosta voted to let every child attend pre-kindergarten. That's Dante Acosta. Bipartisan, independent, fair.
Paid for by Dante Acosta for Assembly 2018.
KHTS, your hometown station.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. In the house with me this morning, we have UCLA Health. Dr. Patel is a urologist with UCLA Health, and we have Nikki Bonner, who is the Marketing Community Outreach Manager. So before we get into some of our specialties and specifics with Dr. Patel, I'm going to throw it over to you. Again, guys, welcome to Aging with Power. I know you're busy, and I appreciate you taking the time. And again, folks, we are live on Facebook, so go to, search for KHTS Radio and shoot us a question or what have you. But so, Nikki, let's start with you to give us sort of an overview of UCLA's ever-growing presence here in the Santa Clarita Valley and some of the things that are happening with y'all.
Thanks, Miles. Thanks so much for the opportunity. We really appreciate it. It's really exciting. I mean, we started out, as you know, a couple of years ago, very small, and we've just been growing and growing. Our list of specialties just continues to grow, so we have more to offer, more reasons to, or ways to make UCLA Health your medical home, if that's what you would like to do. Our latest opening is OBGYN. The address there is 23861 McBean, which is right next to Henry Mayo, and it's where our cardiology practice used to be. And we started out with Dr. Collins. Jacqueline Collins opened that practice. Now she has been joined by Dr. Catherine Taylor, and so the two of them are ramping up, and obviously they have capacity there, so they're taking new patients. And in addition to that, we have a long list of specialties now in Santa Clarita. We've got internal medicine. That's on McBean Parkway. Most people are familiar with the big yellow building with our sign on the top of it. We also, over at Turney Road, 25775 Turney Road, we have our what we call Med-Peds, which actually stands for doctors who are double boarded in internal medicine and pediatrics. So we can see the entire family over at Turney Road. Also at Turney Road, we've got extended hours now as well for UCLA patients. So we're open till 9 in the evening.
Oh, nice.
And we're open on Saturday mornings. So that makes it even more convenient. And in addition, we've got cardiology, dermatology, digestive diseases, of course, urology. Dr. Patel's here with me. He'll talk a little bit more about that. We've got podiatry. We also have neurosurgery now. We're doing neurosurgery consults in Santa Clarita. So it's an exciting time for us. We're really happy to be in the Valley and looking forward to just adding more and more as time goes on.
Well, I know I mentioned at the top of the show, unrelated, but I mean, you have on your notes here, which I love, is open enrollment, and it's that time of year. Tell folks what that means to them and UCLA and you folks as far as what should they look for during open enrollment in your opinion, Nikki?
Well, there is some confusion out there. People ask me all the time at community events, are we an insurance plan? We're not an insurance plan. We're not like Kaiser. It's a different model. We take everybody else's insurance. Now, insurance, as we know, has become a lot more complicated in the last few years than it used to be. So as a result, I don't purport to be an insurance expert at all, so I don't advise anyone on insurance, but we do take a lot of different insurance, and particularly if you're in a PPO, the PPO networks tend to be a little bit wider than the HMO networks. But what I usually say to people is look for the UCLA medical group. I've had HMO insurance. I understand you have to choose a medical group first, and a primary care doctor from a medical group. So the UCLA Health Medical Group is what you're looking for there, and then if you really you need to consult an insurance broker or your insurance company to make sure that UCLA doctors are included in their plans. Well, and a lot of the insurance websites, you could also look at.
And you made an important distinction, which I know you probably pull your hair out on a regular basis about, is that UCLA Health is not an insurance. So basically, when we have our insurance, and I just want to clarify this for our listeners, is it's like when you're searching for a specific doctor, a specific specialty, UCLA Health has that basket of specialists, so to speak. So you're basically just looking to see if your insurance will cover that. How have you seen Medicare, straight Medicare versus Medicare Advantage plans? I mean, does that... It's pretty open for you guys, right?
It is.
You said you take a lot of the insurances.
That's true. We take regular Medicare everywhere.
Right.
Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplement plans tend to be easier. They you can visit pretty much any doctor with a Medicare supplement plan. But this is my understanding. Again, I'm not an insurance expert, but this is my understanding. Paul Davis is, right. Yeah, he's the kind of person that has the real expertise at this. But Medicare, with the Medicare Advantage plans, their networks tend to be a little bit narrower. So this is where it becomes important to speak to your broker or your insurance company about what physician groups are included in those networks before you make a decision. And if you've decided that you want to come to UCLA, then that's the question you would have to ask your insurance company. Or you can call our office, and they'll tell you if we take your insurance.
Right. And when people are looking and focusing on their primary care, I know you think that's important. Why would you highlight that as something someone should pay attention to?
Well, the emphasis in medicine is changing a little bit. I mean, we're obviously we treat people who are ill, but we also want to prevent illness, and prevention is a very big focus now. And primary care can play a big role in prevention. There's the sense is now that it's good for people to have a medical home. A primary care doctor can help coordinate your care with your specialists, with different medications. Your primary care doctor is kind of looking out for your overall health, and whereas specialists have they're dealing with one particular issue. So that's kind of the emphasis now is on prevention, and primary care doctors can help with that.
Right, and I had a bit of a hidden agenda when I asked that question, because we know there is more focus starting to be on being proactive versus being reactive, and early detection, all these things we always hear, exercise and eat right. But I mean, again, early detection, get those checkups. I mean, there's certain levels when you're supposed to get that colonoscopy or a mammogram, or for guys, yahoo, we'll talk about that, prostate. But again, it's the thing where if you're not getting those regular checkups, I know you guys encourage that because it saves everybody money and it saves everybody's health. So we can't stress enough, folks. Get out there, get those early detection tests. It's pretty much standard now. They tell you what age, if you have family history, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that's huge, folks. You need to be proactive, not reactive. Stay, with your checkups and what have you. So we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to start talking about said prostate. No. We have Dr. Patel in the house, and he's a urologist, and we're going to talk about other things that he wants to share. So don't go away, folks. And then, as I said in the second half of the show, we got Kevin McDonald, our executive director of our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. So don't go away. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM.
Are you ready for some football? Consumers Furniture is. Come on in and check out our huge selection of Power Motion furniture. We have the largest selection of reclining sectionals, sofas, love seats, and recliners in the Santa Clarita Valley. Fabric or leather, Consumers has the right price to make your home ready for all the big games. Need it for this Saturday or Sunday? No problem. Consumers has same-day or next-day delivery on most of our items. Consumers Furniture is located in the Centerpoint Shopping Center right below Sam's Club and Walmart.
Green Thumb International, your lawn and garden professionals, have the widest variety of shrubs, flowering plants, and garden supplies in the Santa Clarita Valley. Plan your landscape so that plants with similar water needs share the same plot of soil. This way, you reduce the risk of overwatering plants that don't need as much water as others do. On Newhall Avenue in Old Town Newhall near Sierra Highway, Green Thumb puts the green in your thumb.
Hi, this is Wendy Hassenflug, yoga and wellness entrepreneur. I'm excited to share one of the best kept secrets in Santa Clarita. Top Out Climbing Gym is one of my favorite places. Rock climbing is exceptional for building upper and lower body strength, and it improves your flexibility. Almost anyone can rock climb, and you don't have to be super fit to climb. You'll build strength and stamina while having fun at the same time. Get over to Top Out Climbing Gym in Centerpoint and challenge yourself to new heights.
KHTS, your hometown station.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. I'm your host, Miles McNamara, and we are sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, and we are also live on Facebook. So go to KHTS Radio and join us, and shoot any questions or concerns you may have, because we're shifting gears a little bit right now, and we're going to start talking specifics. In studio with me, I have Dr. Nishant Patel, a urologist with UCLA Health. Again, Doc, I know you have nothing to do and you're not busy at all, so I appreciate you taking the time and coming out and sharing your wisdom with us here on Aging with Power. So, again, tell us a little bit about yourself, what journey brought you to where you are today and here in Santa Clarita working with UCLA Health. So kind of give us a little bit of an overview, and then we'll kind of segue into some of your specifics.
Sure thing. So I'm an assistant professor for UCLA Health in urology. I specialize in endourology, which deals with kidney stone disease mostly, so treating kidney stones and then preventing kidney stones in the future for our patients. So I did my training down in San Diego, my urology residency, then a fellowship specifically in kidney stones at the Cleveland Clinic. And then I've been out here for about 18 months, and really Santa Clarita is growing, and there was really nobody doing complex kidney stone disease surgery and prevention, and so the area was kind of ripe for someone like me to come in and take care of our patients here.
Well, I've never had kidney stones, but I hear it's like ridiculous, like pulling your lower lip up over your head or whatever. So, I mean,
sure, yeah.
Why don't you explain to our listeners what are kidney stones and how can we prevent them, and what exactly are they? I mean,
absolutely. So kidney stones are stones, exactly that. Most are calcium-based stones. There are other types of stones, uric acid, infection-type stones, and they're very common. The lifetime risk of someone getting a stone is approaching 10% now, and worldwide and in the U.S. that incidence prevalence is increasing for many factors. We think because of the increasing rise in obesity, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure. So there's a lot of different associated disease states with kidney stones, and most people will know they have a kidney stone. They won't know it's a stone per se, but the pain, flank pain, back pain, bleeding in the urine will generally land people in the emergency room, and that's how we find out that they have kidney stone disease.
Well, of course, it always circles back to diet. So what have you found as far as, I mean, I'm assuming it's not age specific either. I mean, diet's going to bring on kidney stones?
Actually, it is. So for every decade in life, your risk of kidney stone disease goes up, as do the other associated diseases like osteoporosis and blood pressure. But diet has a huge role to play in stone formation and stone prevention. So once you have a kidney stone, it's unfortunately the gift that keeps on giving, because at 5 years, 50% of people will get another kidney stone attack. But with dietary prevention and sometimes with medicine, you can reduce that to 25%. So you can half your risk by changing your diet. The main thing is fluids. So people with kidney stones need to form at least 2.5 liters of urine a day. Most people are not doing that, and that takes a lot of work. So It takes almost 3 to 3.5 liters sometimes, because sometimes out here, especially in Santa Clarita in the summertime, it's lost through sweat. If people are working out, it's lost through sweat. So it's really the urine output, not the fluid intake. And so it takes a lot of work to try to prevent kidney stones.
Now, you mentioned diabetes. So is there a pretty solid link between kidney stones and diabetics?
Absolutely. So diabetics tend to form more kidney stones and a specific type of kidney stones because of a more acidic urine called uric acid stones. And so they have a different kind of prevention, and that is, better blood sugar control and alkalinizing their urine, meaning trying to increase the pH of their urine, which can actually dissolve uric acid stones. It's the one type of stone that can actually be dissolved instead of needing surgery or trying to pass it.
And you actually hit on something, and if it doesn't really apply, we'll just move on. But I've talked about it before with other guests on the show, the difference in your body being acidic or pH. I'm assuming that has something to do with kidney stones as well, because you mentioned the acidic aspect of things.
Right. So the acidity in the body basically is a big risk factor for stone disease. And so we try to even alkalinize patients' urine with medications like potassium citrate.
Can you do it naturally?
You can do it naturally. So fruits and vegetables have incredible alkalinizing power with bicarbonate water content. Things that acidify the body and the urine tend to be the tastier things like refined sugars and animal protein, meat, red meat. And so I always tell folks that form kidney stones to limit their animal protein intake to no more than 1 serving per day. They don't really know what 1 serving is, and I say whatever the size of your palm is, that's 1 serving, and really you shouldn't go beyond that each day.
Well, and I know acidic has a lot of issues with our health. I mean, cancers, other issues. So
osteoporosis.
How does one measure their acidic versus their pH in their body? Is there a test for that? Is
Sure.
it just eat well and exercise and hope for the best, or what do they do?
Right, so it's a little difficult to measure whole body pH, but with the urine can tell us, and that's a simple test done at the doctor's office. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm starting to feel little issues in my back, and I have kidney stones. Possibly, what's the treatment? What do folks do when they, are the lucky recipient of these stones? What do you do for them?
So they can be found incidentally, meaning we scan you for something and we find that you have non-obstructing stones. Obstruction means that the stone is moved past the kidney into the ureter. That's the tube that connects the kidney to the bladder. That's when people land in the ED. A lot of times we can watch smaller stones, and even if you have one in the ureter, they can pass if they're less than 5 millimeters. Sometimes they get stuck, and then we need to go in with the surgery to try to remove them. There's 3 different types of surgeries to remove stones. One is shock wave, where we don't make any incisions and blast the stone. And sometimes we have to put a scope in to try to remove the stone as well.
Is it pretty successful, or sometimes do you have to get pretty invasive?
Most of the times we can do it endoscopically, meaning without making any big incisions, and success rates can approach up to 90% for stone removal.
What about would you call it, where there's no incision whatsoever? Is would you call it?
The shockwave lithotripsy.
The shockwave?
That tends to be less successful than directly seeing the stone and using a small laser fiber to blast the stone.
Are there any early symptoms that people should look for? You mentioned back pain or what? Before it's hammer to the nail.
Sure.
Is there any early symptoms that we other than? I'm assuming there's over-the-counter tests to check the acidity in our urine. Are there things we can do to be proactive here?
Right, so some other symptoms include bleeding in the urine and sometimes bleeding that you can't see. So a primary care doctor can screen your urine for blood in the urine, and then generally they're sent to a urologist for a workup where we will look for things like stones as well. Sometimes recurrent infections can be related to kidney stones, and then pain. Pain is the major symptom.
Well, we're going to shift after the break a little bit because we haven't talked about it. I know it's one of the leading issues with men and killers is prostates and guys, that we love those type of issues. So when we come back, we're going to tie it up with that, hear a little bit more from Nikki. So don't go away, folks. It's prostate time. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Questions about your water bill? SCV Water is available to answer your questions and help you understand your water bill. They can provide the tips and tools you need to use water more efficiently. Visit yourscvwater.com to manage your account and to pay your bill. Their customer service representatives look forward to helping you. That's yourscvwater.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is your official Santa Clarita Dodger station. You can catch all evening games right here on your hometown station. For all the latest news and updates on your Los Angeles Dodgers, KHTS has you covered. Go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
KHTS, your hometown station.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. I'm your host, Miles McNamara, and we are talking with Dr. Nishant Patel, a urologist with UCLA Health. And if you missed any part of this, folks, you can go to our podcast at hometownstation.com and listen to any of the segments that you may have missed. We were just covering kidney stones, and we're going to shift a little bit now into one of the leading killers of our elderly men, and that's prostate issues. So again, Dr. Patel, thanks for being with us. So let's segue a little bit and talk about what should men of all ages, but obviously as we age, start paying attention to our prostate.
Right. So I think for men, all men have prostates, and there's two main issues surrounding the prostate. There's prostate cancer and prostate growth, and the two aren't necessarily related. But if you get to be a certain age, you're going to have prostate issues, and you may get prostate cancer. And so for prostate cancer, we tend to screen starting at around age 55. If you're a higher risk, like have a family history of it, we start screening a little bit earlier. And that's a PSA blood test. And we don't have 12 hours to talk about PSA, but it's a very controversial subject. But in general, that is the recommendation that our society has put forth.
I'm assuming that's an acronym for something, PSA.
A prostate-specific antigen.
Okay,
correct.
and why is there such controversy? Because I know if you have an elevated PSA, you might have problems. So what's the because I think a lot of people rely on that PSA screening when they get their blood work done.
Right. So it's it was our initial tool, and still I think our best tool for broad screening for the entire population. But a elevated PSA doesn't necessarily mean prostate cancer. It can be related to having a large prostate infection, prostate manipulation, sexual activity. So there's a lot of reasons to have an elevated PSA, and it's our job to figure out what that elevation is from.
Right, and I know we mentioned off air that my father just had a wrestling match with his prostate, but he had, fortunately, the benign, what do you call it, the BHP or
BPH? So yeah, benign prostatic hyperplasia.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. And that's a very common problem in men. And so a lot of the symptoms, they come on gradually. Slower stream. I have a lot of guys saying I'm not peeing like I used to when I was 20 years old, and that's going to be very common for older men. But getting up at night often, going to the bathroom more frequently, urgency, and in rare cases, severe consequences like bladder stones, bleeding, and even kidney function decline can happen when you have an enlarged prostate.
And I think it's important to distinguish if you're getting up a lot in the night to pee, what's the quantity? Because, again, if we're doing the fluid intake that we're supposed to, we're going to pee a lot.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a byproduct of staying hydrated.
Right.
So if I'm getting up to urinate X amount of times a night, but it's a good quantity, I shouldn't be worried, right? It's when you start having to pee and you're barely spitting anything out.
That can happen. A lot of it depends on your fluid intake, but getting up at nighttime prostate issue is just one component. There can be other issues like snoring even can produce more urine at nighttime. It can be a urine production issue as well. People with swelling in their legs. Swelling in their legs, if they put their legs up at night, all that fluid goes back in. And so, nocturia is a very common problem, especially in our elderly folks. We don't want them getting up at night because a lot of the falls can happen at nighttime too when the light's not on, stumbling to get to the bathroom. So that's an important issue to bring up with your physician.
Right. And so as we hydrate and we pay attention, is it prostate? Is it just we're hydrating properly? What's your recommendation as far as ages and exams and annual exams? And as we age, what should folks look at? I mean, obviously, we always circle back to diet and exercise.
Right.
But what should we do for prostate health as guys?
So for prostate health, definitely have a discussion with your doctor about prostate cancer screening around age 50 to 55. If you have a family history, it's going to be earlier than that, around 45. And a lot of symptoms, are variable for men. And so when you start having symptoms, they may not be bothersome enough to want to intervene. But when they are, that's when a urologist can come in, offer you medications, and then sometimes even surgical therapy to help open up that prostate.
And if you have to have your prostate removed,
correct, yeah,
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. So we remove the prostate, the entire prostate, for prostate cancer, and in some instances that's the best path to a cure. And we've gotten better and better with our prostate surgery, more minimally invasive methods to remove the prostate gland. And it doesn't mean that, you're going to 100% have erectile dysfunction or incontinence. Many men don't lose that at all.
And there's no the bag that you have to wear. I mean, that's a myth as well, right? I mean,
the bag is a myth. That's more for bladder cancer, but you're peeing out your urethra after your prostate's removed. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, folks, UCLA Health. I'm going to circle back with you, Nikki, and tell us a little bit about your presence. Where are you? Where are you located? The importance of annual exam. Let's put a little bow on this as we take her into the sunset.
All right, thank you. Well, as you know, we have multiple, as we discussed, we've got multiple locations in Santa Clarita. We talked about the all-importance of having a primary care physician, and we've got internal medicine on McBean, 25775 McBean. That's the big yellow building next to the hospital. And then we also have internal medicine and pediatrics over at Turney Road. That's at 27235. Turney Road, on the same road as Kaiser, and there's like a medical road there. So we're all there. That. Yes. So anyway, that building is very easy to see too, right opposite the Valencia Country Club. I will give the phone number if you don't mind on our website, which is where you can really get all of the full information about all of the services offered by UCLA Health is on our website, uclahealth.org/Santa Clarita. And then our phone number is 1-800-UCLA MD1. That's 1-800-UCLA-MD1. And we've we always have sometimes you can get same day appointments. We've got where most of our physicians are taking new patients, and we welcome everyone.
And again, folks, anything you've missed, you can always go to hometownstation.com, reach out to me. And get all that information. Now, as far as your annual physicals and I know UCLA, as a lot of our other medical providers, have really kind of launched into the whole tech-savvy kind of monitoring of your own health care. Tell us UCLA's kind of vision on that.
Well, of course, we are, we're in a completely electronic world now. Our medical records are all electronic. Our physicians can all communicate with each other with the medical record and kind of work together on patient coordination and patient care. And Dr. Patel can probably talk a little bit more about how that works.
Do you have an app?
And we do have an app. Of course we do. We have a great app on the phone where you can see everything. You can see all your test results. You can see your appointments. You can email your doctor. It's really very comprehensive and really an amazing tool for patients.
And I think the bottom line we're getting to here, folks, is you've got no excuse to not take care of yourself and get your annual physicals. I mean, how do you interact with that whole technology app thing, Dr. Patel?
So a lot of my patients have the app, and then I have my own app. And so, growing up with a cell phone, I can see patient results as they come in real time, and I'm usually texting all the time anyway, so I'll text my patients from my phone. They really appreciate getting the immediate results and my interpretation and recommendations. I can do it when I'm at the grocery store.
I find that's the hugest takeaway here is the communication between patient and physician.
Exactly. So a lot of things can happen in real time. Say I see a kidney stone patient in the morning, I send him for a scan. I can text him that, here's the stone, likely not going to pass. Send my scheduler a message and get the patient booked in, that week for the OR without really having to do a lot.
Well, that's awesome. Folks, we're talking UCLA Health. Again, Nikki, phone number if they want it, or give website. That's probably best. People do their research. Give your website one more time.
Yes, it's uclahealth.org/Santa Clarita.
And again, guys, I appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for
Thanks
joining
for
us
us
today. Folks, we're going to take our next break, and then when we come back, as I promised, we have the man, the myth, Kevin McDonald, our Executive Director of our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. We are going to talk about a plethora of, I've used that twice now, a few things regarding the capital campaign, the services, the new location, what have you. So don't go away. You are listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Are you ready for the ultimate showdown? The Ram PRCA California Circuit Finals Rodeo brings the top 12 rodeo athletes to the Antelope Valley on October 5th, 6th, and 7th. Watch top rodeo professionals compete right here in the AVs. See it all October 5th, 6th, and 7th at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds. Go to avfair.com for tickets. Use promo code RODEO4 and get $10 off all purchase tickets.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly cloudy today with a high of 82 degrees. Clouds overnight with a low of 60. More clouds tomorrow on Wednesday and much cooler temperatures. Rain is expected sometime tonight, possibly into tomorrow. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com or find us on Facebook and Twitter at KHTS Radio.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Aging with Power, sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care. I am your host, Miles McNamara, and we have in studio for our second half the executive director of our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Has really turned that place around for us the few years he's been with us. Kevin McDonald, welcome to Aging with Power.
Hey, Miles. Great to be here.
All right, buddy. Well, tell me what's going on. I mean, folks who don't know you and have any aging loved ones in town, they should know you. I mean, you've really done a great job turning our senior center around, and I've seen the progression. So tell us a little bit about Kevin McDonald, what brought you here, and then kind of lead into some of the exciting stuff happening.
Well, you know, I'm so fortunate to be here. I started out in New Jersey a long time ago, came out to, got an offer to go to Cal to get my MBA, and came out to California and stayed. And
From Jersey to California.
That's right. So I'm a Cal Bear. And then I ran an organization in Downey for many years called the ARC, serving people with disabilities. And then came up here to run the senior center a couple of years ago, and I've had a great time.
It's been a couple, 3 years now, right?
Over 2 years.
You're over 2 years?
Yes.
All right. And so when you came into Santa Clarita and you sort of was introduced to the whole senior center committee on aging, what did you see? What did you look at as far as your first mission?
I just saw the incredible potential. There's such a great board of directors, and they had really quality staff. And it was just taking them, and they had a vision of a new center. And we just had to make sure that vision became a reality. And with the board and the chairs of the committee, it's really coming together right now.
And that vision is coming together. I mean, we do have on the horizon a brand spanking new senior center.
Yeah, we sure do. You know, we're a few months out from the building getting finished construction probably in February of this year. That's what we're looking at. We're still trying to raise some money to make everything happen. We're about $1 million short, but we've already raised $10 million, so we're on our way. We've had incredibly good community support. And you know what we're trying to do? We're really trying to build the center for the future.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and we've always talked about, I thought was always missing at our current center is, and I think it's going to be the vision of the new center, is it's going to be a destination location.
Yeah, it sure would be. We describe it as this: part country club, part social services. We're going to meet all your social service needs that we're doing now and even more so.
Do we have an official name for it yet? Or is it
No, we
right
don't
now
have an
just
official name for it.
Senior Center is still the working title?
That's right. But we're sure it'll change a little bit.
And talk about the difference, but obviously size. But what's the main difference you're going to see with the new center versus what's going on over there on Market Street?
We're building the actual building right now, but what goes in that building is so important, and that's what we're focusing on now. We're going to have an advocacy center for seniors. We're going to have a technology center, a health and wellness center for seniors. So many more offerings of services and supports. But also, we're going to have a lounge. We'll have cocktail parties. We have a grand ballroom will be used for many different occasions, not just lunch anymore. It'll expand the offerings of the senior center. There's 7 multi-purpose rooms. There's a fitness center. There's a dance studio. So there's going to be something for everybody in the Santa Clarita Valley here at the new center.
Right, and as far as being a destination location, I mean, people can have special events at the center. I mean, right now, over on Market Street, it's pretty much if something's being put on by the senior center, it's there. But we're talking any and everything can book our senior center for special events, for parties, for whatever, correct?
Yes, nights and weekends. It's our new form of fundraising in the future is our nights and weekends events that can happen at the senior center. We have a full kitchen. We have a ballroom that can serve 280 people seated.
Wow.
And so many more options for folks. So you're right. It is a destination that people can go to for many different supports.
So is that sort of the cap right there, 280? If people are having a special event or an award or whatever, 280 sort of a
right,
capper?
and we're still building it now. So once we
Okay.
get in, we get our carpet down, we get the chandeliers going and the beautiful tables. We'll see how many we can fit in there.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, 280. I mean, I think some of the other areas in town are looking to go a tad above that.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned we're a little shy. I mean, we've done a great job with the campaign so far, but we're a little shy. So talk to our listeners about how they can help if they want to get involved still.
Well, this is kind of a one-time thing. We're building the senior center. You want to put your name on that senior center somewhere. We have everything from a donor wall for a donation of $500 or more, which would be imprinted on the wall as you walk into the new center with your family name or your loved one name. All the way up to we have rooms available. The rooms go for $25,000 to have your name on it. Miles, yours, Comfort Keepers has the name on there.
Woohoo!
So we're ready to put that sign right outside that beautiful room for you.
And I think that's so important because, I mean, Santa Clarita is always, I can't remember how long it's been, but always right up there is ranked as one of the top senior-friendly communities in California. So with our seniors and wanting to put your name on a building that's going to be there forever, what an opportunity for businesses that help seniors.
It is. And, like you said, your name's going to be on there for 20, 30 years in the future. And you can say, as you drive down Golden Valley Road, I helped build that new center.
Right.
I helped build that new center. Whether you're an individual or a corporation, I was a part of that. We want everyone to become a part of that. And the time is short. In 6 months, we're going to be open, and we want your name involved with that. So there's many opportunities. We have a great website, easiest one to remember, newseniorcenter.com.
There you go.
It doesn't get much easier than that. Or you can call the Senior Center, and we'll hook you up with some options.
And how do folks, I mean, obviously you can go to that website, but are they able to come see the building yet? How far along are we?
Yes, for special donors, if they want to take a special tour, we can arrange for that. So if they call the Senior Center, I'll give them a personal tour for potential donors to see how big this building is and what it has to offer, even at this stage.
And is the YMCA still slated to go on that same piece of property with you guys?
I believe it is. I'm not totally sure where the Y is at.
Because that would be awesome for a whole intergenerational thing like that.
Sure.
Now, are we still looking for a title sponsor of the building?
Yes, we're looking for a name sponsor for the building. That goes for $1.2 million. That would put us over at the top, which would be great. So that title name is still out there.
So, folks, spread that around. How cool would it be to have your name as the blah, blah Senior Center right here? Are we going to stick with Senior Center, Kevin, or are we going to call it some kind of country club? What are your thoughts on that? I know there's been discussion.
Sure, that name's being developed. The Senior Center sometimes has an older connotation to it, but we're in Golden Valley, so who knows what that name might be. But it's nice to be on Golden Valley Road in Golden Valley.
Right. That is awesome, and we're going to talk more about that, folks, after our last break. We're going to come back with Kevin McDonald, our Executive Director of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Talk a little bit, we'll throw in a few more pictures for the capital campaign, but we're going to talk about some of the programs and some of the events coming up at our Senior Center. It's almost pretty much something for anybody in all ages, so don't go away. You're listening to Aging with Power on your hometown station, KHTS.
Your building sign is essential in getting customers to your location. Feathers can help get your business noticed. They walk you through each phase of your building sign project, providing special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will give you a sign you can be proud of. Your building sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Feathers on Soledad in Canyon Country, across from the Edwards Theater. Or go to feathersphoto.com. That's feathersphoto.com.
My favorite restaurant in Santa Clarita? Salt Creek Grill, of course. Great food, neat atmosphere.
For a business lunch or romantic dinner, I'll always go to Salt Creek.
Hi, I'm Greg Amsler, owner of Salt Creek Grill. We have created Salt Creek to provide you with the most comfortable and inviting restaurant in Santa Clarita. Enjoy fresh mesquite grilled fish, aged steaks, and the best chops imaginable. There's entertainment every Friday and Saturday night, and we have the best Sunday brunch in town. Salt Creek is on Town Center Drive in Valencia.
I've always been driven to serve our country and our community.
Congressman Steve Knight.
I served in the United States Army and spent 18 years as an officer with the Los Angeles Police Department. I ran for Congress because too often I saw people forgotten by Washington. The crisis at the VA exemplified a bureaucracy that was out of touch and hurting real people. As your congressman, I'm committed to making our government in Washington work better for you.
My name is David Brayton. I am an Air Force veteran. 10 years ago, my doctors told me that I had to have a double lung transplant. It was a massive uphill battle to get the VA to do what they said they were going to do in the first place. Finally, Steve Knight got involved, and if it wasn't for Steve Knight's assistance in this thing, I guarantee you I'd be dead. Steve Knight is a veteran, and he's LAPD on top of it. I'm voting for Steve Knight because he gets stuff done for us.
I'm Steve Knight, and I approve this message.
KHTS, your hometown station.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to Aging with Power, sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I'm Miles McNamara, your host, and we are talking with Kevin McDonald, the Executive Director of our Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. We're just highlighting some pretty exciting stuff. We have a new senior center after all these decades over on Golden Valley Road. We won't even say the address yet because we're not completely in yet, right, Kevin? But Kevin did mention about the capital campaign. We're almost to the finish line. If you have a business that deals with seniors, helps seniors, or just want to be a part of this amazing building, there are still sponsorship rooms available. So be a part of pushing us across that finish line, and you can get a hold of Kevin at the Senior Center. We'll touch base on that in a little bit. But Kevin, I wanted to circle back and talk about, we've got the new building coming in, but we've still got the old building that has a lot of great things happening over there. So we've got some upcoming events, and I want you to kind of give us an overview of what's coming up, what goes on over there, and the things that people should be aware of.
Sure. Well, part of our future is partnerships. And one partnership we developed was with the College of the Canyons. So we, along with yourself as part of our team, we've established a series called Essential for Family Caregivers Workshop Series. So on October 13th, we're having it at the Senior Center, and our guest host will be
Jane McNamara.
Jane McNamara will be speaking.
Elder law attorney. So I think what's the title of her stuff? Getting your ducks in a row, I'm sure, is the layman's term.
Legal empowerment of the advocate.
There you go.
And I know I've listened to Jane several times. She's just fantastic. It's a free option for us. Come down on Saturday morning. Come and join us. Sign up at the College of the Canyons. Call the Senior Center and come on by that morning. But if you're not going to come there, we want you to go over to Central Park and join us for Touch a Truck Day. It's the annual Touch a Truck time. We're going to be there from 9 to 1 for young families to come and touch a slew of different trucks. It's a wonderful family atmosphere to meet some seniors, to meet our community when they come together.
This event really has taken off, hasn't it? When it first started years ago, I'm like, what the? But it really has gotten traction, hasn't it?
I did registration last year. So many families come up to spend a Saturday morning to get to know the Senior Center a little bit, but also to engage with all these community groups that come in with their trucks, possibly a helicopter, lots of different things that come in for Touch a Truck on that Saturday morning.
Well, it's really cool for our kids, not only to be introduced to the senior centers and their activities, but the first responders and all the other different service trucks. And again, I was just bedazzled by how this thing took off. Because like I said, wasn't wasn't council member Marcia McLean sort of started this, right?
Marcia's still very, very involved with it, and leads our efforts to make it happen. It's so important for the children, so it's nice.
I remember I worked with her a few times on the Celebrity Waiter dinner, and she started talking about this touch a truck thing, and I looked at her like she had 3 heads. I'm like, what are you talking about? But it really has gotten a life of its own.
Yeah, and it's not a fundraiser. It's more of a chance for the senior center to give back to the children of the community, so it's kind of nice.
Right. But circling back to this Essentials for Caregiving, because it is a series, it's an ongoing series of 4 seminars, for lack of a better term, through the partnership between the Senior Center and College of the Canyons. And it really focuses, and that's why I wanted to kind of come back to it and pause, for the family caregiver, the people that are thrust into that role, who are now caring for an aging loved one, and they may have no idea. There's no class in it, but there is kind of now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a great series of classes. November 10th, we're doing communication and conflict resolution. December 8th, we're doing mental health. So we really want to assist those family caregivers. They're doing some really, really good work out there.
And I think there's it's so hard on the radio, but again, I think they should contact you or reach out to me, because there is a website you can go, because we do ask folks to RSVP, just so we can kind of get a head count and what have you. But this is the second or third year we've been doing this.
Second full year.
First year was got some pretty good traction. A lot of people came out, and it's interesting because these family caregivers, they feel like they're on an island. They feel like they're on their own, that they have no support. But there's a lot of resources and support groups in this valley alone.
And we need to give them the information. I saw one this morning as we're sitting here in the radio station, and said, I got to make sure these people get the information to help them out through their trials.
Well, and that's sort of an unsung thing at the Senior Center. You guys do have support groups, not only for seniors, but for especially the family caregiver, correct?
Absolutely. And they're all for free.
Right.
So come by the Senior Center and we can hook you up.
Well, Kevin, anything we can do to help you out, again, folks, show people the route to hometownstation.com to listen to this podcast and listen to more about what Kevin just presented to us. If you know anybody who would be interested in getting their name on the wall or on a room at our Senior Center, this thing is going to be a destination location for decades to come. So it's a great way to promote your business, help our seniors, and be part of an amazing community. So, Kevin, if someone wanted to reach out to you direct, how would they get a hold of you?
They can reach me at 661-259-9444.
And what was that really cool, easy to remember website you gave us before?
NewSeniorCenter.com.
And what would that do exactly?
That would hook you to the website where you can make a donation and follow our progress with the New Senior Center.
And so that's different than our regular, hyphenated website for the Senior Center,
yes,
which shows
you
pretty
can
much
hook
the
into
calendar
both.
and events. Are they backlinked together?
Yes, they can be backlinked together.
Okay, so that's newseniorcenter.org?
.org or .com, either way.
All right, awesome. Well, Kevin, I appreciate you taking the time, coming out and sharing your vision and your expertise. Folks, that does bring us to the end of our show. So as I've said 2 or 3 times, I'll say it again. If you've missed any or all of this show, go to hometownstation.com, go to podcasts, go to Aging with Power. You can select any of our past shows with some of the great subject matter experts that I have had on the show. Along with Kevin, I'd like to thank Nikki and Dr. Patel from UCLA Health. A lot of good information there for us as well. Don't forget, we do have open enrollment coming up, so take a look at your health care. Make sure, especially your pharmacy and your coverage for your medications. Part D is in dog. A lot of times folks will not pay attention, and the following year when they re-up, they say, you know what, that medication is no longer covered. So again, circles me back to say again, October 31st at our Senior Center. You should put that on your calendar to go see Paul Davis from Paul Davis Insurance Services, because he's going to talk about just that. He's going to talk about open enrollment, what things you should look at to solidify your coverage, make sure all the medications that you are taking are going to be covered in your Part D, and also maybe if you're on straight up Medicare, you need to get a supplemental. But yeah, lots of stuff to learn, folks. It's making my head hurt already. So anyway, if you have any topics or special requests, email me at miles with a Y at agingwithpower.com or miles with a Y at comfortkeepers.com. I will get that subject matter expert on the show, and we will all empower ourselves to make more informed decisions. We're sponsored by Comfort Keepers and Home Care. I'm Miles McNamara of Comfort Keepers, and folks, remember, aging is not a disease. It's a journey. So do it with power.